Welcome back to the Kingdom Hearts playthrough.
Just returned after the long teleportation ride up to Master Elevator.
I love this.
So do I. It's cool.
It's not even an elevator. It's more of a gondola.
Yeah, you're right. It's like it is a gondola, exactly. I like how, like, these aren't actually, like, magic. They're actually being propelled. They're not propelled, but they're, like, hanging up on something. Some sort of weird electricity line.
I would say it's, well...
It's like, yeah, like plasma or something?
Yeah. I would say it's, like, part magic.
Oh, I guess.
Maybe a little.
I mean, like, I guess it's not just a floating platform.
Mm-hmm.
There's some sort of mechanism moving it, which is kind of interesting. Never explained, but interesting nonetheless. I wonder why this never got updated. Like, for the second and first visit.
How do you mean?
Like, I'd feel like they'd want to have, like, different Heartless the second time you go through.
They were different.
They were?
Hmm? There were definitely a lot more wizards last time.
Well, then, I'd feel like there'd be more wizards the second time. Since they're the harder enemies.
But air soldiers are much more annoying.
That's true, air soldiers.
And that's the difference.
Actually, I don't have to say, air soldiers are probably my least favorite enemies.
It's magic something.
I guess it could be. I mean, this is not a world void of magic.
You know what it reminds me, though?
What?
Reminds me of is when working with certain particles, like you said, with lightning. At least with the Maya program, I have some experience with the Maya 3D program, and it does just kind of start off like that. You draw like a line, and that's where the current goes, but it's really sporadic. You don't like guide the lightning to an exact like wanky position. It's sort of pre-programmed like that. But as far as positioning it, it's like it's like those like really light blue lines where the plasma or lightning is going off of. Like on the gondola, you know, there was just that straight line and the lightning being emitted from it. It's a lot.
Oh yeah.
It's a lot like that. It's in its raw form. That's how it looks on the program. Just this this line that tells you where the effect is, and then once it's you can play it and render it. And then the full effect is shown just without the line. So to me, it just reminds me of that one raw line for the effect.
But it might be. I don't know, actually. That's interesting, though. I don't have that much experience with things like that, but... Huh. Interesting how things like that work, though. I always think.
I don't know much about 3D modeling, but I've had, like I said, experience with Maya. It was a very, very fun program. I definitely plan on pursuing it to learn more. And I can see a lot of elements. I notice a lot more of elements, I should say, when I play video games nowadays, since I took the class on it.
Yeah.
Like I understand the issue of space for a disc, rendering time, texturing, why some look great, others look terrible. Like those pictures in the Traverse Town Hotel that are pixelated and whatnot. And like they really shouldn't put that much effort into it, I'll be fair. It's not that important.
Still, though.
Some people won't even notice.
It's like one picture, though. They could have
exactly
added something.
It's just it's so small.
Oh, this was made in the olden days. We forget. 2002 when this came out.
2002. That is a long time ago.
12 fucking years ago.
Almost 13.
Where does the time go?
Where does the time go?
Man. Now I'm sad.
Now I'm sad.
So many air soldiers. I never noticed that. But honest, it's like every world is getting more of the end game Heartless. It seems like this area is getting a lot more of the older ones.
You think?
Well, what do you mean? Well, like I never noticed that. I guess is what I'm trying to say. I never pieced that together for some reason.
Yeah, it is really frustrating.
I guess it's like I hate this part. I hate having to climb through it all the way again.
Yep. And they try to shake it up again with different Heartless, but you're like, no, just let me warp with the save point.
Yeah, because I don't know. I'd say the one bad thing about this game is that like very rarely are like the heartless that you fight on your way to an area the hindrance of any situation.
Yeah.
And I mean that's fair, I guess. So you don't like consistently die, but I don't know. I think that they're there to add challenge to your adventure, but they're not. They're just. But again, that's my person. Again, if you don't have trouble with this game, don't base it how I feel about this game or how Valgo feels about this game. We've put too many hours into this game, so
This is very true.
yeah.
At the very least, with the Heartless all powered up and giving a lot more experience, it's a good way to level up. Like, it's kind of annoying that they just throw them in your faces and you have to fight them in order to progress. But at the same time, it's kind of helping you in that if you haven't been going out of your way to level up, you're going to have a lot more difficulty with the bosses and whatnot.
That's true, and well, you'd have to imagine the difficulty curves, with leveling up in mind.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's true. It's just like I've heard people like I've heard this described as being random battle, kind of like it's kind of like in like another game where you enter the battle like just without the transition,
like in Pokemon and whatnot.
Yeah, but like it's just without the transition.
I'm not sure I'd agree with that.
Neither would I. I don't think that's. But it's an interesting way to look at it. It is kind of like a random encounter. That's what they're called.
Yeah.
But they're not random. Like, you find them fucking
every
the same place over and over.
Yeah. Exactly.
What were you? Oh.
Well, so, I thought I could make the jump, but no game boundaries. Although you don't have to make the crest hole up top, but this was a neat find when I discovered it.
This was a neat secret that's like, you can see the door there every time you press the buttons.
Mm.
But you always, is it really worth it to attempt doing that? Because I might have to.
Shut up! I'm working on it.
Use the last. So I just want because it was the last. Okay. But.
We had to take a whole night in the camping set because Sora fucked up on a spell.
Royal Crown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is like just the fact that it's called Royal Crown makes me think that this was supposed to be a big secret. I'm not saying it isn't. This is kind of hard to miss.
It's very easy.
This
to
is
miss.
very easy to miss. It's hard to notice.
I think I did something similar in another playthrough.
Really? Where you
like it's very easy to miss when I meant the other.
Oh, it's very. No, but yeah. Well, like, what does it do? Do you test it out?
It. I'll look it up later. It's a cool accessory, one of a kind. I don't think you can even synthesize it.
So yeah, So I do kind of like that, but
like in the grand scheme of things, accessories. Once you find a really decent one. Here's what I did when I was younger. When I used accessories, I couldn't replace one that downgraded another effect.
Oh yeah, I'm the same way.
It had to work with both. It had to bump up both of them because
it doesn't look good.
I'm not a very strategic player.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. When I get, even now when I play that, I constantly just cycle through saying, what will like lose the least stats? And honestly, you're right. That's kind of bad in the scheme of things.
Especially with White Fang, because it upped your health. And I'm like, not a whole lot of accessories do that. So whenever I had to go back and I found another one, I never replaced White Fang because of that.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, health and MP were the... Honestly, though, any players out there who's actually are curious on what's the best... this is not a professional opinion, even though I call myself a professional. But
go right
I
ahead.
would say MP is probably the most important thing to get from... Like, at some point in the game, a few 3 points of strength isn't going to matter. So I would say MP...
Can you even get MP from accessories?
Yeah.
Really?
Well,
what ones?
In this game. Not in like...
Well, like which ones? Can you name it?
Like the one you're going to get for beating the boss here. Crystal Crown, I believe, gives you MP.
Oh, yeah. I think you're right.
And, like, to me, personally, I would say that... Because MP is the only stat that, like... It's not capped. And also, it's always useful to have more MP. So, there's just my take on it.
Now, this is something that really threw me. the darkness swallowed Ansem apparently, and
Yeah.
they give you this really creepy
Image, yeah.
of like him smiling
Yeah,
as it
very-
happened, like a psycho.
Yeah, very. That's a pretty good character explanation.
Very foreboding.
Yeah. I see, but what did happen? Did the world like kind of like shuffle when Sora released the last heart? I guess because like I never understood 100% what was supposed to have happened between now and then.
Well, I think what the princesses were trying to explain is like the keyhole opened up, Ansem used, like, he took a hold of its power, and now he's in the last world. Like it
Yeah.
swallowed him up and spat him out in that world, or
Yeah.
something.
And I'll keep forgetting that. Like they were running away last time they were here,
Yeah.
so we don't actually know what happened in this room after they left.
Mm-hmm.
I assume nothing. You know why I assume nothing happened?
Why?
Because Sora's still there, and you can explore it as long as you want.
That's true.
But that's more just
But of course you would wait until you leave.
yeah. Yeah.
And that's another thing. Ansem and Riku were gone.
When yeah, I don't think I think they were technically for the sake of the story still supposed to be there. I assume so.
Screw this thing.
Oh no.
This
And
is
here-
the stealth soldier,
Yep. And
and I hate him.
I think I've said this many times before, but now that it's actually I can read it. This is a bonus heart list that I feel is cool because it actually feels like an additional enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Not a gimmick, not like a mini game. It actually feels like That being said, it's still gimmicky, and he's just not a fun enemy to fight.
He's not, but I do kick the crap out of him. Don't you worry.
Nice. Yeah, you're doing good against him.
The thing to do is, just wail on as best you can, stop spells, freeze them in time, and you
Yeah.
get the energy stone. Very, very unique material. Like, no, I think, what is it, power shards or energy shards you get from, like, power wilds?
You get power shards.
Yeah, these guys drop spirit shards.
Yeah. Yeah, like, it is interesting that I feel like a few of the stones, like, do have the same name as the other ones, but a lot of them just don't.
Mm-hmm. Oh, another quick thing. The defenders and wizards here, I wasn't lucky enough to get either of them, but the wizards and defenders here, there's a very, very rare drop that they have. The wizards can drop their scepters, and you can equip it to Donald as a very rare weapon. And likewise, if you're lucky, the defender will drop its shield, and you can give it to Goofy, and it's very, very powerful.
And a very neat, yeah, very cool. And it's also very, if you may have noticed, the rare drops are bigger, and then they're also color-coded.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's like, I think red's like synthesis. That color we just saw was items, and then like blue ones are accessories.
Yeah, blue is basically like other.
Yeah, and my point for that was saying is that nothing's better when you kill one of these guys and you see a giant just blue
Oh,
thing
yes.
explode out. Because sadly, again, for completionists, you need those to get all the trophies.
Oh,
And
yeah,
you may
getting
get
all the weapons.
Yeah, and you may get them from your first defender, or you may get it from like your 4,000th. So
Which, grinding those defenders would be useful because you also need to buy a crap ton of shields from the shop in Traverse Town.
yes,
'Cause those are expensive.
they are. Yeah, it takes like almost 20,000 to purchase all your weapons.
Probably even more.
But not anyway.
There's another treasure.
Um,
Past me,
yeah, I was
there's
gonna say,
another
what?
treasure there.
do you miss it? Ah, see, you did a quick Oblivion. As you can see, Oblivion. Wait, was it weaker than Oathkeeper?
There's the Royal Crown, that's what it does, by the way.
Increases. Ooh, that's good. Kind of. But
Yeah.
wait. But the Oblivion thing, it's supposed to be. It has really good power, but bad magic.
It's basically what it is.
Yeah, but and here's I said there are two beefs I hate with Final Mix, and this is directly Final Mix, not like the HD. This is Final Mix in general. Synthesis and the Keyblade stats. This
Yeah.
Keyblade was bomb in the in the very first original. Its power was like the highest stat pretty much available, and it looked cool. And that one less MP was like, who cares? It's really cool. Sadly, in this game, that Divine Rose that Valgo picked up earlier in the last part, that's even more powerful by like 4 attack points or something. And it doesn't lower your MP. It's just they change the stats for the weirdest. But sorry, I distracted from the main point. This boss.
Beast, we leave you alone for 5 minutes.
And you turn into this.
This isn't actually the Beast, but
Oh, that'd be an awesome.
that would have been a neat
cool
little twist, yeah.
But yeah, this is the I don't. His name is Behemoth. I kind of like to believe he's the guardian. I guess he's not. There's nothing important about him though. He's really just a big heartless.
Yeah,
And sadly,
slightly gimmicky in the fact that you hit his horn, you do damage. That's his only weak point, the one in the middle anyway. And that's basically it. You hit his horn, and that's what you do. And you do that a lot, and then he dies.
Yep, and he is just not... He has some... Like, he hits hard, but that's it. He's just not a hard boss.
What's interesting, like, you see a lot of gravity spells going off, and that's because Donald is programmed to be really smart for this particular fight.
Yeah.
This fight, I don't know why. But there's actually another connection to gravity being effective against this guy, is that when you hit the horn enough, the Behemoth will be stunned and, like, lower his head. The gravity spell kind of mirrors that to lower his head forcefully, in a way. Even though it's not animated like that, like his head forcefully just smashes into the ground. But that's basically what it is you use gravity a whole bunch, and then he bows his head down.
Oh, I didn't know that. But yeah, gravity is also just useful because he just seems to have not that good of a resistance toward it. And like he was saying, for some reason, Donald knows that for this one particular fight. And
And you actually pointing out what gravity does, like in terms of damage, after a while it starts doing less damage to this guy, and I never knew why, but back to what you said, like it does a certain percentage of its current health and not its max. That just made it a lot more sense to me.
Yeah. And see, that was the boss. I hate this boss. It's boring. It's easy. But whatever. He's cool looking. I like his design.
This place is a bit boring, I'll be honest. I expected more.
Looks like the Shadow Realm.
You think everything looks like the Shadow Realm?
Because I find the Shadow Realm funny because I learned that that's actually not like in the storyline of Yu-Gi-Oh! They added that purely for 4Kids.
Which is kind of ironic considering what 4Kids tries to do.
Be cool.
What I do. Why are we going back? Seal the keyhole first.
Yeah, I know.
And then talked.
Well, he heard a voice in his mind. Pretty much. That's what I would have thought at that point.
No, it's like that weird door that lets them enter and exit that place. I don't know. It's kind of stupid. And here's the big reveal. This was their childhood home. An original Kingdom Hearts world. Hollow Bastion was not in any Final Fantasy game, unless you count Kingdom Hearts as a Final Fantasy game, which
would be weird.
Some people do.
Really?
Probably.
But yeah, this is the Hollow.
And then the penny drops. It's just an expression I heard.
Oh. Yeah, why do they... I don't like this part. This is important stuff, too. Be careful when you get text conversations between the Final Fantasy members. Generally, a lot of exposition is made.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which means coming.
It is pretty sad, though.
This... I was kind of found it ballsy that they added that story element in. Since they pretty much knew they were going to make a sequel at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of interesting. I like this line. I always thought it was funny. And the way Sora, I don't know. Again, I just like the voice acting.
But why? Why is she not able to forget him?
She just kind of saying, "Oh, you're silly."
It's like every time I look at Cloud, he's gonna remind me of you.
Well, there's that probably, but I think it's just more like, "Oh, you're so silly. How could I forget you?" But
that being said, I just find it really weird that with that group at least, Leon is the only Final Fantasy VIII character.
Yeah, I've always thought that's strange as well. I always assumed he was from 7 just because, like, I know Yuffie's from 7, Aerith's obviously from 7.
Nope.
Cloud, is he from 7?
Yes.
He kind of looks like the guy with the hair.
I thought you were serious for a second.
Oh, no. But no, yeah, Cloud, and then... Yeah, you're right. I think he's like the only Final Fantasy not from 7. At least in this game. So, what are your thoughts on what exactly that keyhole was?
I find it strange that they made a huge deal out of it, that the seven princesses make it happen, like it was an ancient thing that existed for a long time, and yet it has the crest of the artificial Heartless, which suggests otherwise.
That's true. Plus, since we never actually find the real keyhole for this world, that we can only assume that is the keyhole. So, how is it any different than anything else?
Well, that being said, this is my theory. They made all that machinery like around the keyhole, and they empowered it using the princesses, and it became like a link to the last world we'll be running into, much like the secret door in Destiny Island.
But it's like, what are they are they harvesting like the darkness from the world's heart? Kind of going back to how there's darkness in every heart.
That's what I'm assuming.
That's an interesting concept. Sadly, I don't think it'll come to fruition. It might, though.
Yeah, well...
What if, like, Kingdom Hearts 3 is, like, every question you've ever asked is just answered?
I would hope so. Probably not.
I don't know. What if it's, like, 3 is everything everyone wants it to be and more? What if that just happens?
That'd be really nice.
What if it's just the greatest game of all time?
I don't want to wait for nothing, you know?
Well,
I don't want it to flop. I want them to take... I'm going to say it, and people are going to be mad at me. I want them to take their time developing it so they have everything ready, they have everything fixed. They say it's in development. I'm a little skeptical on that, to be honest, but I'm just going to take their word for it since they blatantly announced it. And I'm going to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. That's just my philosophy in life.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. You're right, the wait's bad, but honestly, it's kind of more hopeful. Also, I was wondering what you were doing at first, but then I figured it out. Exactly what you're doing.
There's a less little bit of information you can gather here, and there's a very handy yet another very easily missed secret. What I'm doing here is I'm looking for Yuffie because I'm not actually sure where she is.
Yeah, I thought she was downstairs too, but I think... Oh, she like in the one place... No, you haven't seen her anywhere. I don't know where she is. Do you find her? Oh, she's right there. That's fine.
How interesting. I couldn't find the ninja.
What's so great about the darkness?
Yuffie is like goofy smart.
I don't know. I think that's a very good question. I think Riku proved what's so good about the dark.
Well, you say that, but like... It's like a drug. And Yuffie hasn't yet to experience the drug, so she doesn't know why it's such hot shit.
But it's like...
I'm like, oh, wait. There's one more little thing. She gives you... She says the rest of the report, but that's not actually the rest of the report.
It's like the rest if you collected everything else.
Pretty much.
And then talk to her third time. Being Kapow, final cure.
Yep.
Why? Okay.
Because she had spells.
So yeah, is she... Okay, the only reason I would ever understand a normal person to get that... Okay, I shouldn't say that. I'm pretty sure a lot of people talked to her and figured it out. But, like, the only reason I could see, like, any hint for that is that... I don't know, is she a mage in 7? I don't know.
Yes, she is. And we'll see you in the next part for more lore, filler, and a cup. See you then.